Gee, it sure sucks being an unwanted, overlooked generic water type. What you need is a better ability. Sounds like a dream come true. Oh, you. Hello YouTube! This is Chriz Maniac bringing you folks another Pokemon XY Wi-Fi battle. And this match is an OU match versus Zarzeo. Now if you folks are curious about the intro that I did for this video, before Gen 5, Politoed was an NU Pokemon because it didn't have Drizzle. But with Drizzle in 5th Gen with its hidden ability, it went from NU to OU, and we flipped when it had Drizzle, because not only Kyogre had Drizzle, another Pokemon that's not legendary, that's not Ubers, has Drizzle, and that made Rain teams possible. And I'm bringing on the legacy of my Rain team on the 6th Gen, so let's get this battle on. So I predicted to lead off with Mamoswine because I predicted to lead to like 1-step rocks just to get my Dragonite crippled. So out comes this poop-colored shiny Mamoswine, and yeah, it does look like poop, doesn't it? The coloring. Anyways, I was expecting him to trade rocks with me right here, but instead he goes for Earthquake, just seeing if I am a specially defensive Parathorn or a physically defensive Parathorn. I am physically defensive with some special defense invested. Anyways, let's have rocks because rocks will be useful on his team. And it's useful for my boosting Pokemon too because I have 2 boosting Pokemon in my team, my Mawile and my Lucario. Anyways, we trade rocks right here. I missed my Power Whip, which really matters because that would have done a lot of damage to this Mamoswine and broke its Sash. And I know he has Sash because he obviously is the lead Mamoswine, and most of these Mamoswines have the Sash on them. Anyways, he goes for an Icicle Crash, and I flinched right here, so I'm like, oh come on, I'm getting hacked out already. I missed my Power Up, and I get flinched by that Icicle Crash, which really sucks. But that's not really doing much to make it survive a few more, given if he doesn't flinch me to death. And thankfully he doesn't flinch me to death. He brings me down to 5 HP though, and I get critted, so I'm like, oh come on, the hacks! The hacks is real! And I get a leech off on him, which is pretty nice. I get my HP back with leftovers. That's gonna really rack up and start giving me some good recovery going on. And that's what I like about Parathorn. It doesn't really die if it gets a leech sheet off, and I have Protect too, so I can stall this Mamoswine out and broken its Sash finally, and I can knock it out later on if I want to force a perfect move against it, like a Bullet Punch or an Iron Head from my Lucario and Mawile or something like that. Or a Power Whip if I hit it earlier, but I didn't hit it earlier. So I get more HP from this Mamoswine, just sucking out this delicious health, yummy, delicious pork. Anyways, he goes for Icicle Crash a 3rd time. I avoid the attack, which is really lucky, but I missed my Power Up once again, so I'm like, wow, come on Parathorn, you need glasses. You need some wide lens, man, because you'd be missing your attacks. Thankfully, I didn't miss my Leech Seed. That would have mattered even more. And now my Ferroseed rather, is at a pretty comfortable amount of health, at like 50% HP, coming back from 6 HP earlier, back from the grave. Anyways, here comes this Gengar right here, and he really just resists all my moves, and he knows by this point that I don't have Gyro Ball, which is a big threat to Gengar. But even though he's resistant Gengar, that Power Up did a lot to this Gengar because Gengar doesn't have that much good defense. And if he went for the substitute right here, then I would have been able to break his sub because my Hararo does more than 1/4 of his HP. Anyways, Hacks is really like crazy in both sides because he misses his Focus Blast. That would have done a lot to me, but he misses, fortunately. I almost knocked out Gengar, and now I'm scared of another Focus Blast. I'm bringing Tempestuous, my special wall for this team, and ouch, those rocks hurt. But anyways, we got off for Roost, and I could be at full health again with multi-scale up, which is great for Dragonite, obviously. Anyways, he knocks himself out to Life Orb, and that matters because now I can't Roost up, and now he can bring on defensive pressure on me with another Pokemon that he brings in. My Dragonite eats leftovers, and also, if you folks don't know, this Dragonite is a special Dragonite, which is made to focus, made to function, there you go, under rain, with Thunder and Hurricane, and Thunder and Hurricane hit really hard, and it's super duper bulky too, because it has max HP EVs and special defense EVs. Anyways, talking about rain, this is the chance to set up rain with my Politoed, and he goes for Icicle Crash over here. It doesn't really do much to me. I resist that because I'm a water type. And politoed does really good under rain, especially under the choice specs, because a choice specs Hydro Pump deals so much damage. Like, what I'm gonna do this Conqueror right now. I didn't go for Scald, and that's what he probably predicted, because he wanted that Guts burn on him. But nope, I'm not gonna give you that pleasure of getting burned, because I'm just gonna Hydro Pump you and hit it. Fortunately, wow, something I hit this battle. And I missed the second attack, which is sort of a theme in this battle, missing attacks. And he almost knocks out Renee, my Politoed, and his Conqueror gets at like half HP. So I don't want to take a Mach Punch to the face. I want to keep my Politoed around for later because I want to set up Rain again later on. And I bring in Nova, my Starmie. And he goes for Mach Punch once again, as expected, and I resist that move. That is fine, and I can just spin it with the rocks because he's gonna get threatened out by a Psychic type move. So he switches out right here. In comes the Sylveon, which is obviously a special wall because Sylveons are mostly special walls nowadays. The defense is really, really bad. And I go for a Rapid Spin right here. It takes away the rocks, which is great. And my Dragonite is gonna feel so good about that. And my Lucario too, because he has a Focus Sash. And a Focus Sash Lucario is something to be dealt with. There's a problem because a Focus Sash Lucario is almost always guaranteed to get a Swords Dance up or 2 attacks on you. Anyways, I go for a Side Shock, expecting to hit it on a weaker defensive side. But it doesn't do as much as I like. And I'm like, oh, this is a defensive Sylveon, that's you. And that makes sense with this Calm Mind, because now with Calm Mind it makes itself bulky on both the special defense and defensive side of its defense. Whoa, the repetition is so repetitive. Anyways, it is looking pretty bulky right now. I just keep going for Side Shock because I really want to hit this thing hard, knock it out, bring it as slow as I can, and almost knocks it out, which makes it easily KOable by the next Pokemon that I bring in after my Starmie gets taken out by this +1 Shadow Ball. Yeah, my Starmie's not gonna live that. It gets absolutely wrecked by a Shadow Ball. Anyways, he eats more of his leftovers, nom nom. And I bring in my next Pokemon, which is my Lucario, and Lucario is the perfect Pokemon to bring in against this Sylveon because Sylveon gets mashed by a Bullet Punch, and if he chooses to switch out, then I could get up a free Swords Dance. But he just stays in right here. I don't want that thing to get a +1 Moonblast on me. And he brings on his Dragonite, so I'm like, ooh, a Dragonite, perfect. This multi-scale is broken. I can set up on this guy with the Swords Dance, boosting my attack to sky-high levels, and I don't care if this Dragonite chooses to attack me because he could not break my Sash, and my Sash will be intact, and I could get another attack off on him. Anyways, he's boosting up alongside me, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I could just go for the extreme speed to hit KO his Dragonite and be happy with that. Anyways, he goes for Earthquake right here. That is fine. And I'm like, okay, I hope this Dragonite doesn't have extreme speed because that would just finish me off because it's faster than me, and he would outspeed my extreme speed. But unfortunately, his Dragonite is much speedier than me, and he gets extreme speed off and finishes off my Claire, my Lucario. That's fine because I can just bring in Fiorin. I saw his Earthquake, that means he doesn't have a Fire Punch, and I can just take any move from this Dragonite, finish it off with a Leech Seed or a Power Up or something, and my Ferrothorn is all good. If he had Roost, that would be absolutely devastating, but thankfully enough, he doesn't have Roost. Dragonites with an Earthquake or Fire Punch tend to have 3 attacks plus Dragon Dance, so that's very fortunate for me. And now I can just take out this Dragonite with a combination of Bleach Seed and Protect. And my Ferrothorn is pretty much an MVP for this match, I'd call it that, because it has taken out this Mamoswine even though we both got hacks down, and it's taking out this Dragonite too. And my Ferrothorn is still at a pretty comfortable amount of health. But my Ferrothorn is a team player. It gets threatened out by his Conkeldurr, which he's going to bring in next turn, and so I am threatened out by that. So his Dragonite goes down, I get my leftovers up once again, and my Ferrothorn is back at green health. My Ferrothorn is such a monster, it never dies unless you get a super effective move against it, which his Conkeldurr has. So I get out of there, I switch out because this Conkeldurr is such a clown. Look at his face. Look at that, the Conkeldurr looks like such a clown, wow. I just noticed that, with this like big bulbous nose and stuff like that. Anyways, he goes for Drain Punch as suspected. Wants to get more HP back. I just bring in Renee on my Politoed just to set up Rain and as KO fodder, and that's exactly why I kept it around for this moment to set up the Rain again. Anyways, I can bring in the Pestis now with Dragonite, hit this Conkeldurr up with a super effective Hurricane, knocking it out, absolutely destroying it with that really, really strong stab move from Dragonite. And Hurricane has a 100% chance to hit under the Rain, and down goes his Conkeldurr. So the Conkeldurr down, he's going to bring in his counter to my Dragonite, which is obviously Mamoswine, his booger looking Mamoswine. What a weird coloring for Mamoswine. I guess it matches because it's brown, but it's like brown and green, which looks like it's refuse or like something like that. Like poop. Anyways, I bring Yuki, I intimidate that Mamoswine, bring it down in one attack, and then he goes back to Skull Crash as expected because he just wants to knock out my Dragonite, just trying to even a score because at this point, it's like my 4 Pokemon to his 2. His Mamoswine and his Pinsir. And I guess he's just trying to soften up my team for his Pinsir to sweep. That's his last hope for winning this match. Anyways, I Mega Evolve into my Mega Mawile, and I just go for a Sucker Punch, just not wanting to get damaged by an Earthquake. And down goes his Mamoswine. And, yeah, down goes his booger-looking, big pink thingy. Anyways, in comes his Pinsir. This is his last hope of winning this battle. I'm thinking that he's gonna go for a Swords Dance because that's his only hope for sweeping my entire team. So he Mega Evolves into his Mega Pinsir. What a fearsome beast. I want Pinsirite, but I don't have one yet. I would totally use Mega Pinsir, but I simply can't find the Mega Stone. There's no one that's willing to part with it. Anyways, he goes for a Swords Dance, trying to sweep my team, but I just go for Iron Head right here at neutral, but it still takes out the Mega Pinsir, which is, wow, Mawile. Like, that's so strong because Mega Pinsir has increased bulk, but he still takes that one shot that's unboosted. Anyways, folks, that's my rain team. I hope you folks enjoyed this OU match. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you folks next time.